Hello everyone. Hi. How are you? Your preparation is going very well. So hi, this is Nipur Jain. I passed out from IIT Dhanbad. I already qualified IIT JEE, GATE, just IIT JAM, right? So in previous video, I solved PYQs of a NEET examination. So next we continued PYQ of a next year examination, right? I already solved from 2025 to right 2005, right? Now and we are going in decreasing order, right? So let me solve the next numerical problem from 2003. If a ball is thrown vertically upwards with a speed u, the distance covered during the last second of its ascent is. So what they're saying that if a ball is thrown vertically upwards, right? So in this problem, what they're saying that suppose we have a ball, if I throw this ball vertically upwards, right? So this ball go at maximum height and then return back, right? As we know that at maximum height, this is our maximum height, their final velocity become 0. And in this question what they are telling that the distance covered during the last second of its ascent, means just reaching the maximum height, what is the distance they covered in last second of its ascent when they are going upwards now. When just suppose I give the example, like suppose the body is reaching at a maximum height at 10 second, so like 9 to 10 second, what is the distance they covered, they are asking, right? You understand this? So let we solve. As you know that that is upward motion is equal to the downward motion. Time of ascent and time of descent are equal, so it is easier to solve this the same problem as the body is falling freely, right? And the distance covered by this body in the when they are falling, so what is the distance they covered in first second, right? So I apply S is equal to ut plus half at square, right? So what is the distance they covered? As you know that is initial velocity is 0, 1 by 2, acceleration is g, and time, like what they are saying, last t seconds, so half gt square. So what is the answer? Half g t square. Understand now? Not difficult now? If you have any doubts or regarding that, if you are like feeling that the way I'm explaining the things, if you are not able to understand, you can comment me and ask me. I give other way approach also, right? So can I proceed for a next question? Right. A particle is thrown vertically upwards. Its velocity at the half of the height is 10 meter per second. Then the maximum height attained by it. So in this question, what they are telling that if a particle is thrown vertically upwards, right? So in this question what they are telling that a particle is thrown vertically upwards, right? Its velocity at the maximum half of the right, just 1 minute, I draw the gram, right? So its velocity at half of the maximum height, let this maximum height is h, right? So at this maximum height, let this is half of the maximum height, right? So what they're saying that its velocity at half of the maximum height is, means at this point that has a velocity is 10 meter per second, right? Then they are asking that what is their maximum height, right? You understand the concept? So देखो, now we have to solve this equation as they have given that g is 10 meter per second square, right? As we know that at maximum height the final velocity become 0, right? So first I apply, let I give the name, this is first point, second point, third point. Apply equation of motion, applying equation of motion, right? First I apply equation of motion for first and third point, right? So v square is equal to u square plus 2as. At you know that at final velocity, at maximum height the final velocity becomes 0, and initial velocity we are throwing u plus 2 times acceleration is minus g. As we are throwing the ball upwards, so their acceleration is minus g, right? And the distance they covered is h, so means their initial velocity is 2g h, This is equation of first, right? Now applying equation of motion, applying equation of motion for, now we are applying equation of motion for first and second point, right? So as we know that again the same equation v square is equal to u square plus 2as. As we know that the final velocity is becoming 10 square, means 100 square. Initial velocity we wanted to know, plus 2 times acceleration is again minus g, and distance is h by 2. Understand now? So that is 100, okay, and initial velocity is basically 2gh, and here I cancel 2 so 2, so here left is minus gh. Understand? So 100 is equal to minus gh, so h is equal to 100 divided by g, that is 100 divided by 10, so that is h comes out to be 10 meter. Understand? Understand now? Not any doubt left now? So understand the approach. So first I apply equation of motion for first and third point, then I apply the equation of motion for first and second point, right? And then I find the height. Shall I proceed for a next question? Is it fine now? Okay. A motion of a particle is given by the equation, the value of acceleration of the particle at t is equal to 1 second, right? So what they are saying that they have given the position in terms of time, 3t cube plus 7t square plus 14t plus 8 meter. The value of acceleration of the particle, they are asking acceleration of the particle at t is equal to 1 second, at t is equal to 1 second. So what I do, I have to find acceleration, so I have to do differentiation of a position term by 2 times, right? So first I proceed and do differentiation with respect to time first time, so that is dy by dt, that is 3t cube plus 7t square plus 14t plus 8, so that is 3 3 up, and you know differentiation of dy by dx x की power n, that is nx की power n minus 1, so that is 9t square dx by dt, and we have to do at t is equal to 1 second. So 9t square, that is 14t plus 14. Now I have to do again differentiation because we have to find double differentiation with respect to time, so that is 18t plus 14, right? So we got the value this, that is 18t plus 14, right? And we have to find this acceleration at t is equal to 1 second. Understand now? Not any doubt left now? If you have doubt left, you can comment me and ask me, right? So acceleration, that is 18, t is 1 second plus 14, so that comes out to be 18 plus 14, that is 32 meter per second square. Any answer is given? Yep, option B is correct, 32 meter per second square. Understand now? Not any doubt left now? Option B is correct, option B. Now I proceed for a next question. A car is moving with a speed 40 km per hour, can be stopped by applying a brakes after at least 2 meter. If the same car is moving with the speed of 80 km per hour, what is the minimum stopping distance, right? So in this question, what they are telling that ki suppose car is moving, right? And they move some distance, and then after that they're going to be stopped. So देखो, a car is moving with the speed of 40 km per hour, means their speed they have given, initial speed, that is 40 km per hour, and can be stopped by applying brakes after at least, means they are telling that ki their final velocity become 0 after traveling a distance of distance of 2 meter. If the same car, if the same car or if the same car is moving and then and we can apply the speed 80 kilometer per hour and their final velocity becomes 0. In this condition, what they are saying that at this condition, what the distance they travel. As we know that this is uniform motion, so their acceleration is constant for a whole journey, and we know that equation of motion v square is equal to u square plus 2as, and their final velocity become 0. That is u square plus 2as. So u square is equal to minus 2as, and negative sign showing that there is a retardation going on, and it is also correct retardation going on. That's why their final velocity becoming 0. And as we know that acceleration is remains uniform for whole journey, so can I say that their initial velocity is directly proportional to distance? This concept is very important. Like this concept is also given in NCERT in solved example, and this question is very useful for solving these types of problem when the body has some velocity and the final velocity becomes 0. They cover this distance, so they're fine, and again for the same car their velocity is increased to this. So what is the distance they travel? Understanding now? So we have to find S2. We have to find S2, right? They have given S1 for us, and that is U2. They have given U1. They have given that as square of it, right? So S2 is equal to S1. They have given 2 meter, that is, and U2 is 80 and U1 is 40 divided by, and then take square, that is 2 square. If you do it, so that become S2 is equal to 2 to the 4, and 2 into 4, that comes out to be 8 meter. Understand point? No doubt left now? You understand now? If you have any doubt left, you can tell me, right? So which option is correct? Option C. Option C is correct. Now I proceed for a next question. A rubber ball is dropped from a height of 5 meter on a plane, right? So here in this question, what they're telling that this is our ground, right? A rubber ball is dropped from a height h. It is some, let this at some height, right? A rubber ball is there at some height h. The acceleration is plus g, and they are dropping, so their initial velocity is 0. Dropped from a height 5 meter on a plane. So their height they have given 5 meter. 5 meter. On bouncing, after they fall here, right, and they again bounce, and in this condition they travel a distance of 1.8 meter. 1.8 meter. Then they're asking the ball loses its velocity on bouncing by a factor of what? Means they are telling that how much ball loses their velocity on bouncing by it. Means what we have to do? We have to find how much loss. So as we know that we can do final velocity minus initial velocity divided by initial velocity. That I got the value of how much the body loses there, how much factor the velocity loses, right? So as we know that when the body is falling from some height h, so their velocity is under root 2gh, right? So their initial velocity is under root 2gh is 5 meter. So that is comes out to be here g value they have given, no given, so don't worry. So that means under root 10 g. Their initial velocity is 10 g. Now their final velocity like when they final velocity means the how much they rises, that velocity we have to find, right? So their final velocity is also under root 2g, and how much height they rise is 1.8 meter. So 1.8 means I take here in this way, so that comes out to be 36 g by 10, means that is 18 g by 5. So their final velocity become, when they rises to 1.8 meter, their final velocity is 18 g by 5. Understand? Now Now we have to just find the how much, what factor this velocity loses by this wall when they rises. So as we know, final velocity as the body loses their energy, so their answer come negative. Uninitial, again uninitial, that is final velocity is under root 18g by 5 minus initial velocity root 10g divided by initial velocity 10g. As we know, I take root g common from everywhere, so they cancel out. That is root 18 by 5 minus root 10 divided by root g. Again I take common out, and here left is root 10. Root g से root g cancel, so I put this root 18 5 root 10 minus root 10 root 10 root 10, right? So here left is how much left in 18, this is 9. एक मिनट, their initial velocity is root g ना, okay, root gh, everything is fine ना, okay, no problem. So here left is 9 and here left is 5. So here 9 5 5 ja 25. Here left is root 1. So 3 by 5 minus 1, that is 2 by 5. So means 2 by 5 factor the body loses its velocity. So which option is correct? Option B. Understand now concept? This question is like they are asking how much, what factor their velocity loses. So option B is correct. Understand now? Okay. Shall I proceed for the next question? Okay. देखो, the position of a particle varies with the time as, and they are asking acceleration will be 0 at time what? So they are just saying that they have given the position of a particle x is equal to at square minus bt cube, and they are saying that what is the value, the acceleration will be 0 at what time? Means time you find at which acceleration become 0. So first we have to find the acceleration. As we know that we have to find acceleration, so first we have to do differentiation of 2 times this equation, right? So dy by dt, if I do the differentiation of this term, so this become 2at minus 3b t square. Again I have to do the differentiation, so that comes out to be 2a minus 6bt, that comes out to be our acceleration. Now question saying that time at which the acceleration becomes 0, so we have to put acceleration is equal to 0 and then find the time. 2a minus 6pt is equal to 0, so t comes out to be a upon 3b, a upon 3b. A body is dropped from a height h with the initial velocity 0, strikes the ground with the same velocity, 3 meter per second. Another body of same mass is dropped from the same height with an initial velocity 4 meter per second. Then the final velocity of a second mass with which it strikes the ground. That is also a good question. I say this is like a conceptual question, and if your mathematics is good, then you can solve. A ball is dropped from a height h, right? Just 1 minute, I saw this. It is like this at some height, and this is our ground. A body is thrown from some height. A body is dropped. Their initial velocity is 0. Acceleration is plus g. With the initial, and strikes the ground with the velocity, and when they strikes the ground, their velocity become 3 meter per second, right? And in the same question, so first we have to find the height of this, height at which this ball is falling. In the same way, another body of same mass dropped from the same height with the initial velocity they have given, that is 4 meter per second, and when they strikes this ground, right, when they strikes this ground, the final velocity of the second mass is, means what is their final velocity, right? So from the first, this is first ball and this is our second ball. right? So for first ball, can I find height? As we know that as the body fall freely, so their velocity is under root 2gh. You can also drive this equation. Can I drop? Can I drive, or you know this thing? I can drive just one time. As you know, I think you know these things, but just one time I can also try. As we know, v square is equal to u square plus 2as, right? So the final velocity is equal to initial velocity is 0 plus 2 times acceleration due to gravity is g and height is h. So v is equal to under root v is equal to 2gh, right? Their final velocity they have given 3 square plus 2 times g value they have given not given. So we have to take in 9.8, but I can say if we don't put, they automatically cancel. Sorry. So 3 3 is 9. Why? 2g. You got the height. This is our height. This height we can use in second equation to get the final velocity, right? For second ball, we have to find final velocity, right? So v square is equal to u square plus 2as. The final velocity we wanted to find. Initial velocity, how much they have given? 4 square plus 2 times acceleration is g, height is h. So v square is equal to 4 4 ja 60 and 2gh value is 9. So v square is equal to 25, means v is equal to 5 meter per second. Understand? So their final velocity is 5 meter per second. So which option is correct? Option first, that is 5 meter per second. Understand now? So shall I proceed for a next question? Okay. The acceleration of a particle is increasing linearly with time, and they have given this value. This is variable acceleration. So we have to do integration, because the acceleration of a particle is increasing linearly with time, and the particle starts from origin with the initial velocity they have given. V naught starts from origin, means their position is 0 at t is equal to 0. The distance traveled by the particle, means they are asking what is the distance traveled by the particle at time t. The acceleration of a particle is increasing linearly with time as this. The particle starts from origin with an initial velocity this. The distance traveled by the particle in time t is. Means that the distance traveled by the particle in time t is they are asking. As we know that acceleration will have how many formulas? 3 formula. d square x by dt square. Another is v dby by dt, and another v dby by dx, right? In this question what they are asking, the distance traveled by the particle in time t is. Distance traveled by the particle in time v db, just this is mistake, v dv by dx. So we have to do first dvy by dt is equal to, that is bt. So what we have to first find velocity, that we have to do integration, right? So if I do the integration, their initial velocity is v naught, and some time t they have a velocity, right? So I find v, that is v2 v naught, and here bt square by 2, 0 to t. So I put the limit, so that comes out to be bt square by 2. Here come v minus v naught is equal to bt square by 2. So again I write here v is equal to v naught plus bt square by 2. So again I have to write dx by dt, as we know that acceleration is basically dvy by dt and velocity is basically dx by dt. So v naught plus pt square by 2, and dx is equal to v naught plus bt square by 2, and this dt I send here, then I have to integrate this, right? At t is equal to 0, at some time t we have to find the particle at the origin, and at some position we have to find the position of the particle x, 0 to x v naught t plus btq by 6 plus some constant d. No, we are putting the limit, so we don't have to put constant, right? So x minus 0 is equal to v naught t plus btq by 6. So x position of the particle is coming v naught t plus btq by 6. right? So which option is correct? V naught t plus Vt q by 6, V naught t plus Vt q by 6, option C is correct. Understand? So shall I proceed for our next question? Right. So this question is also a good question. In this question, what they are saying that a water drops falls at a regular interval of from a tap of 5 meter. Means suppose there is a tap is there, right? From this tap, water is falling at a regular interval of time, and this is at a height of 5 meter from the ground, right? So this is at a height of 5 meter from the ground, above the ground. The third drop is leaving the tap at that instant. First drop touches the ground. Means when there is a one drop, there is a second drop, there is a third drop, right? So when the first drop touches the ground, right? So third drop is leaving the tap at that instant, right? So how far above the ground is the second drop at that instant? Means at what is the height of the second drop? What is the height of the second drop from the ground? This thing they are asking, right? So as we know that the by Galileo ratio, if a particle travels odd number of distance in equal interval of time, particle travels odd number distance, right? That is 1, 3, 5, like this, 2n minus 1. This thing, you know, this is also we say Galileo ratio, right? So let this distance is x, this distance is 3x, right? So see this, total distance means x plus 3x, that is equal to 5 meter. So 4x is equal to 5, means x is equal to 5 by 4 meter. 5 by 4 meter. Understand? Now we have to find second drop, right? So we have to find second drop distance from the ground. So what is the distance? This distance is coming. So this distance is coming 1.25 meter. 1.25 meter. And this distance is from the tap. This distance from the tap, that is 1.25 meter. But we have to find distance from the tap. But we have to find distance from the ground, right? So for this we know that ground is total height is 5 meter. If I subtract this 1.35, so that comes out to be 3.75 meter, right? 3.75 meter is there. Yeah, option first is correct. Understand now? It's quite easy now. Don't feel confused now. Okay. So this is fine. I think so. We can do other previous year question in the next video. And I hope so you are understanding all this concept and doing. And if you feel anything or if you want any video regarding that, I will solve and I will clear all your doubts. And I'm also thinking that I solved all the PYQ till 1998. 1D motion, and I try to solve each and every chapter of a NEET examination, JEE examination, and I also try to make all NCERT problem, solved example, exercise problem, right, and their important points that will be really helpful for you. So I make separate lecture series for points to remember, like NCERT important key points that you can remember this. From these key points, in NEET examination definitely question comes, right? So I make separate video for this also, and solved example of each and every chapter of a physics I make separate video for this. And exercise problem also I try to make this. But just one thing I wanted, if you feel any doubts or if you feel good, I'm making every lecture I try my give my best and I give my all efforts so that you can understand. If you feel this video is quite helpful and it is quite useful for others people, you can share with your friends, colleagues, so that it feel really helpful for me. It feel motivation to do more hard work, to make more videos for it. Thank you so much, and we will make in the next video to solve other PYQ also. Thank you.